this the Spider's last dance, Miguel? We thought it might be with the Adesanya fight. I thought the moment was kind of ruined. I thought that was perfect. The crying at the weigh-in, the the epic fight that we know even more now since the Gastelum fight. We are dealing with a real deal with Adesanya, a real superstar. Just delivered one of the greatest fights we've seen, and it seemed so perfect as a passing of the guard fight. He fought great in that fight. I think that was the time to hang it up, but he wants to fight in Brazil. And I don't want to give too much away of my pick. I think he might prove me wrong on that because it looked like the Adesanya fight was a perfect walk away moment with him crying at weigh-ins and the kind of passing of the guard to Adesanya type of thing. But I think he might prove me wrong this week as the perfect moment to go out because they're going to be in Brazil. But what do you think? Do you think this really is the last web that the spider weaves this weekend?
No, I don't think so. I think we'll see.
You don't?
Yeah, I harken back, and I know a lot of the stuff that we talk about at the end of the day, maybe innuendos and stuff like that. But at some point, the UFC extended him what was a lifetime contract. It's something like 20 fights, or just like a ridiculous amount of fights at the tail end of his career, just to make sure that they locked him up and kept him aboard. Now, things didn't go perfectly right for him. He's had some suspensions and injuries, and obviously with the leg injury and stuff late in his career, the tail end of his career has been a little bit of a slide and stuff. But I think Anderson fully envisions himself being able to fight another 3 or 4 more times. At the end, those are all paydays as well. You have to consider that he's on the higher end of the scale, so he's socking away some money. He's in his 40s. Every one of those becomes like, hey, is this my last one? Is this my last one? If you can get another one in and sock another $300K away, I think that's at the level of Anderson Silva. Aside from the foot injury, the leg injury, he was relatively healthy throughout his whole career. If I remember him correctly, I don't, at the end of the day, he lived in the States and, had homes in California and Vegas and things like that. So maybe he experienced some of the lifestyle and things like that. But when you go back to Brazil, you're still going to need, a couple $1 million in the bank to live out the rest of your life. And I think that's what he's going to be faced with.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the result of this is gonna determine a lot. And when we look at the odds here, they've got Anderson as a plus 135 underdog to minus 155, which I think is so unfair because Cannonier had a 500 record going into his middleweight debut that he took on short notice as a fill-in to fight David Branch, who's not even ranked now. He just got another loss to Jack Hermanson, knocks him out, gets in the rankings, and now he walks into a fight in Brazil with Anderson Silva. I think Anderson Silva's going to win this fight. I think this is solid money on Anderson Silva. He looked like he still understood tricks against Adesanya, and Adesanya may have been a little starstruck being in there against his idol. Didn't really turn up the heat like he should have. But at the same time, I think a lot of it, like I said, going into the Gastelum fight, I think that Anderson just still recognizes game. He just still recognizes tricks, something that a lot of guys are not going to. I'm not sure Cannonier's experienced enough to be able to deal with the level of striking that Anderson still does have. I don't think he's going to land a big bomb on Anderson in Brazil. I got Anderson winning this fight. I think that could throw a curveball into my hole. This is the last web the spider weaves. But I think if he gets a nice finish over a powerhouse down in Brazil, you might be surprised.